Ladies and gentlemen and friends beyond the binary, welcome to Being Trans, the darkest timeline. I am Amanda Bonanza, and next to me is Lilith Elektra. Emily didn't make it today yet. We don't know where she is. We had a bit of a soiree last night. She could be oversleeping. She could be in the drunk tank. There's no way to know. Who knows what happened to Emily? It's a big fat mystery. We hope she's okay. We think she probably is.
You
Hi,
make it sound
Lilith.
like a
How?
Doritos campaign.
Like a
What happened
Doritos
to, yeah,
campaign.
like what happened to Emily? And like if you buy bags of Doritos, you get a little game piece and then you piece them all together and you figure out where Emily
You know,
is.
it's funny that you should say that because we do here at the Transverse have merchandise that you can buy. And let me just kind of show you here. We got this. Oh, wait, that's not it. Ha ha ha. Anyway,
These
we
aren't
got,
Doritos, I
well, no,
assume.
we got this beautiful t-shirt you can buy. This is at etsy.com/the transverse or the transverse /etsy.com, something like that. It's
Eventually you
Etsy,
got that
it's the
down.
transverse. I'll never get it down. I'll never know that URL. It's too confusing for me. But you can buy this beautiful, beautiful t-shirt that says the punishy her. Uh-oh, here we got it. Here's Emily.
Boss is here.
She's here. She made it. She made it. She's not there yet, but she's getting there. So if you buy this t-shirt, that'll help clue you in to what happened to Emily.
Hey!
But now that she's here, you probably don't need those clues because she'll probably just tell us.
I just tell us
But
where
you
she
should
was.
still buy it. And you know what? You should also buy this mug that we also have for sale that says, "Don't talk to me until I've had my hormones." It's a beautiful mug. It's a great coffee mug. You know what? I have this coffee mug. I bought it, and it's my second favorite coffee mug. Not, and I mean that's honest. I should say it was my favorite, but that would be me being disingenuous because I have a favorite coffee mug. It's just a little thicker and more of the shape that I like, and that's the only
But what
reason.
is it? So what does it say?
It says, "Don't talk to me until I've had my."
No,
Oh,
what
what
is
then?
your
My
most
favorite mug?
favorite?
I don't even
Yeah.
know what it says on it. It's like a beige mug with some stuff. I don't care what it says. It's about the shape and the feel. It's the right
Ah,
size. It holds the right amount of coffee for me to drink it before it gets cold, and not too much so it starts, and not enough where I have to keep refilling it, and like, you know what I'm saying? It's an ideal. I've found that mug to be ideal for me. Now that Emily's here, I'm going to get rid of this image here. We don't need that there anymore. Hello, Emily. Welcome to Being Trans, the Darkest Timeline. We're glad to have you. How are you today?
Uh, I think it goes sort of without saying. Yeah, I'm on the struggle bus a bit this morning. Woke up with a nasty headache. I don't know if
Mm-hmm.
it's mostly hangover,
Oh no,
mostly
it's
lack of sleep.
100% all the wine you drank.
But then I drank so much water. Like I had to
That's
pour out
good.
water at the end of the night because I was so like waterlogged I couldn't drink anymore. So when I left, I poured water out and I thought I would be fine today. I'm very much not. And then to top it off,
Mhm.
I spent the bulk of the morning to this point up in the attic. So fun times.
What were you doing up in the attic?
Running a an Ethernet cable for a roommate.
Got it. We talked about this pre-show, Lilith and I. I just started running an Ethernet cable, and though, when we've been fading in and out and like getting a little fuzzy, that's
Yeah.
what that was. I was running
Huh?
Wi-Fi, and then now the connection is stabilized, and I think you can tell already that we're clearer and crisper and more in tune with reality, and there should be less sync issues and like all those issues that we had before that we were trying to do. This
Mm.
this should clear up a lot of them.
I
I feel crisper.
You are
I
crisper. Yeah,
I
it's
feel
like
the least crisp I've been in
like
a
a there's
significant time.
Good.
girl, you're as
Little
fresh as a
mushy,
head of lettuce. Like
little
I'm
mushy
telling
today.
you. But
Feeling a little mushy today.
yeah, Emily and I and a couple of our friends had a little soiree where we got together and drank and sang karaoke and had fun, had hors
Mm.
d'oeuvres, or hors d'oeuvres,
Horse duvers. Yeah, yeah,
or
yeah, yeah.
horse duvers. Yeah,
No, it was wonderful. Yeah, she made deviled eggs, my freaking
deviled
favorite.
eggs.
I munched on those.
Oh, nice
Um,
bruschetta. I love that. I thought I
yeah.
enjoyed that very much.
And then yeah, so much wine. The wine was very free flowing. And then
Not like not enough wine.
and then yeah, we just sang karaoke all night and there were only three of us singing, so we just pounded. I think I
Just
sung like
hard
6 or 7
rotation, yeah.
songs. Yeah.
Easily. Probably more, probably closer to 8, I bet. We were kicking out the jams. We had the running theme of our youth. So we're all Gen Xers. We're all in the same age neighborhood here, and so it was all 90s fucking rock. And music's come a long way. Music has changed quite a lot since then, and I'm not.
That's right.
I am absolutely not one of those older people that's like, in my day, music was great, and now these kids don't know nothing. I feel the exact. I don't feel the opposite of that, but like, I definitely. I'm really happy with modern music. I think like this year, 2024, has been one of the best years for new music that I've ever witnessed in my life. It's on par with some of the best years that I've seen. And there's so much good stuff. There's so many bands that like I've never heard of that are so good, and that I keep finding them. There's just a plethora of just really quality stuff out there. And uh and but there is a change. The vibe overall that you get, like that the energy that you get from fucking rock, like, because it's not rock. Rock is just pretty much like, I mean, rock does exist, but it's really like it's all subgenre stuff. Like, it's metal. There's no like just fucking rock music. Like, it's just there's metal, and that's about it. And then everything else is just kind of what it is. And like it indicative of the times, it's a bit depressive. Like, it's a lot. It's sad, and it's there's upbeat stuff for sure, but like that's the hyper pop stuff, and that's pretty shallow in my opinion. But like the energy that you get from listening to like old rock from like the 90s and like grunge shit, and like also like rock from the 80s, like it's just like it's like fuck, like there's an energy there that you get that I forget about because I don't really listen to it much anymore. It's like I've kind of like got sick of it, and I toss it and I listen to modern music, but it was there. We had a good time. We did all that stuff. That was a big tirade that really didn't
I'm
mean
sorry, what were you guys
anything.
doing last night?
Yeah, I just sing karaoke.
Yeah, the 90s block we got
Oh.
into was super fun. I think the culmination of that was Closer by Nine Inch Nails that Raina did. And
Yeah,
yeah.
that really
That's
came in
always
hard.
a
Like it was
always a
great.
good karaoke night song.
It really
Yeah.
is. Like I hadn't heard it in so long, and like, yeah, that's just fucking dope.
Lilith, let's see
Nine
what you
Inch
think
Nails
of
was really good.
let's see what you think of my closer. You Give Love a Bad Name by Bon Jovi.
Ugh.
It's true. Like, does that? I
No?
hope you're all familiar
No,
with that one out there, because I
it was so
saw a
good.
meme. I showed
It
Lilith
was so
this
good.
meme. We did
I
this
mean, no
when we were
judgment
doing.
on how you did. I have no idea. Not a huge Jovi fan here.
Talk about a song that hits hard though. That was a lot of
It's
fun.
true. It's got that chorus. You can't deny it. Lilith, do you remember Meme Diver?
Yeah. Oh,
Of course you
it's
do.
sung the Holy Diver by Ronnie James Dio.
We used to do this segment on our old show, on our old channel called Meme Diver, where we would just we would display memes, and we would talk about memes, and we would appraise these memes according to Elon Musk fun bucks and Zucker coins.
Fun bucks.
And
Elon Musk fun bucks don't exist anymore. It's just Elon Musk pain bucks.
yeah, it's like now it's just like Elon Musk. I don't even know. I thought I tried to have a joke, and that joke
I
fell
would
flat. I
say
couldn't
that
do it. There's
no
nothing funny
one
about Elon Musk. He's a steaming pile of shit.
no one proves the saying you can't but money can't buy happiness more than Elon Musk. It's just
Yeah.
like, I'm sorry. Happy people do not spend all their time talking about vengeance and making other people miserable.
Uh-huh.
This
So true.
entire administration is like, if you think money can buy happiness, here it is. Here's the whole thing. None of these people, they all have everything and none of them are happy.
Well,
I know money could buy me happiness, though.
No, it
That's the thing.
couldn't.
I know
It
it would
wouldn't
work
buy
for
you
me.
happiness. It doesn't buy happiness. You either are or aren't happy.
yes.
And the money maybe makes things a little less stressful for you.
That's
But
really what it
yeah.
is.
I mean, Elon
It's
Musk
like,
has made $100 billion since the election and isn't any noticeably happier.
$100 billion.
he's just he's disgusting. He's
He
Just a
could
little
be-
more, just a little more than I've made in the last month.
Could solve homelessness in the United States and probably poverty, if not worldwide, famine. I mean, if not worldwide.
Oh,
like,
you know about that. That was a thing. Like that
Yeah.
happened. Like the whole there was a what was it? It was right before he bought Twitter. Like
Mhm.
he Lilith, you were gonna say something.
I was going to say, or he could do all those things, like you're saying, or he could buy a larger cave for his hoard for him to sleep on.
Yeah.
Like, I see what you're saying. Like, yes, that could happen. But why would you do that when you could sleep on your hoard?
Well, that was a thing that did actually happen. Like I said, right before he bought Twitter, like the year leading up to that, he was still trying to be like a populist kind of guy, and before he went full fash, he was talking about it, like it's like he was like he wrote some fucking tweet or whatever, and he was just like, yeah, it's like, I mean, if someone can show me that, like, because people were giving him shit, it's like, you've got enough money to end world hunger. He's like, if someone can show me that that's true, that you could actually do it, I'll fucking do it. And so the World Health Organization and the United Nations put together a presentation and a well thought out plan of exactly how much it would cost and exactly how they would implement it to literally end world hunger. And they had a price tag, and they gave it to him, and it was totally within his wealth budget. And they gave it to him, and he was just like, nah. And then he bought Twitter for like twice as much. That's what it was.
And that might solve world hunger. Yeah. It's just the long game.
Right, and it's the long game. He's gonna solve
the long game.
He's gonna solve the world hunger through free speech for Nazis. Like, it's the best way to eliminate, to crush the woke mind virus, because that's really what's keeping people hungry.
Well, I think we've talked about it. I think y'all have heard that, you talk about the money won't buy you happiness, but apparently even the people that have voted for Trump are still like very, very agitated and upset.
Oh, they'll never be happy.
They'll never be
I don't know what their
happy. I
problem
mean,
is.
like they're always gonna blame us. Like they're always gonna blame, oh, it's the Democrats. It doesn't matter if they literally round up all the Democrats and light them on fire and eradicate and genocide
And
Democrats,
don't try to win me over.
they'll
Don't.
still blame the Democrats, like for things that go wrong. Like it's wild because like when he wasn't in power, everything was Joe Biden's fault. And then when he was in power, it's like it was the Democrats, it was Nancy Pelosi. Nancy Pelosi fell down and broke her hip, didn't she? He showed me that today.
Oh,
Yeah. I'm sorry to hear that. Like, I mean,
so
I don't
yeah,
like
probably
Nancy
in the next
Pelosi, but I don't wish her harm. You know, it's like
no, probably in the next 10 or 20 years, she'll retire, then resign
yeah,
from that
exactly.
post.
When she's 104, maybe then she'll step down, leading the Democratic Party.
Love you, RBG. Like, rest in peace. But God damn it.
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing is just fucking stupid. But we did I did actually come in today because before we were doing this, and I did a little doom scrolling this morning, and on my Facebook page, I stumbled across a post from the Satanic Temple. I don't think it was the Satanic Temple that posted it. For those of you that don't know, the Satanic Temple, like they're not actually Satanists that worship Satan. They're a political organization in the United States, and what they do is they do activism to keep religion to keep religion like out of places it shouldn't be. Like the
Yeah.
separation of church and state is their main thing, and they do it with Satanism. So when Christians try to like put the 10 Commandments in the schools, well, the Church of Satan comes in and says, well, if you're going to put the 10 Commandments, we're also a religious school. You have to put the 10 Commandments of Satan right next to those. And like,
It's not the 10 commandments of Satan.
Or whatever there is that they
It's
do
the
a thing
tenets
like
of the Satanic
the
Temple.
tenets of the Satanic Temple, whatever it is, but you have to do that also. Like, and then
And
they're like,
they'll take you.
I can't
They
do
have
it.
lawyers who will go all the way to the Supreme Court to fight that.
Exactly, and
So
that would have worked before.
that'll be a
That would have
theory of
worked
what they
before.
do in a month.
It won't work anymore, but like like that's okay. Um,
That's what the Satanic Temple used to do.
they're still doing it. They're still going pretty hard. Like, and they gave. But my point is like they gave a lot of useful tips on things that like marginalized communities like trans people or anyone really that's not on board with this fucking fascist christo-fascist bullshit, like which actually literally like I think every American is currently marginalized at this point. Like it's really gonna be
I mean, the
that.
only people who aren't marginalized are getting on board. So
Yeah, and that's the thing.
Get on
It's
board.
like that's how fascism works. It's like either you assimilate, you get crushed, or you flee. Like it's like that, or you violently resist, which I think that's gonna be a big factor.
That's gonna be part of the crushed part. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it'll be. I think it's gonna be. I think it's very much gonna resemble the Vietnam War in a lot of ways, in the sense that I think it's gonna be a lot of like guerrilla warfare, like going on in the streets all over the place, random attacks, like random shit, and the
So
response to that,
are you
of course,
suggesting we should start digging our bunkers?
I wouldn't say digging bunkers because that you don't you if they find you, you're toast. You can't go up against a juggernaut head on.
You
like
should
it's
join
like
a Creedence Clearwater Revival cover band so you can
that's
do
it
the
right there.
do the soundtrack to this new Vietnam.
Exactly. You need to learn how to play All Along the
Fortunate
Watchtower so that
Son.
you can
Yeah, all the good
shoot
stuff.
people from the side of a helicopter because you can't. The bullets don't work unless All Along the Watchtower is playing. Anyway.
Anywho,
It was a Facebook post and I didn't grab it and I don't have it, but I did then look up like what a few organizations that are human rights organizations do have to suggest about that sort of stuff, and I wonder if you want to maybe talk about that. Are y'all interested in maybe going through those and kind of discussing them?
Yeah, absolutely.
Let me punch that up. I should have it prepared. Of course I don't. I don't have anything prepared, but here we go. You want this one here. So we've got.
What number is starting OnlyFans where you step on sheet cakes?
That was not recommended by either the Fenway
I
Institute, the
don't.
American Civil Liberties Union, or Human Rights Watch.
I
That
don't
didn't
know what to
make
tell
the
you.
list. Yeah, I would say so. There's three things from the Fenway Institute. Number one is beware of potential rollbacks in LGBTQIA plus protections in healthcare, social services, and employment.
Check.
Not a big shocker to me. I don't know about it.
Already started that. So
Yeah, like kind of already can't. Didn't the Democrats just like roll over with like a
oh,
budget
like
bill?
90
Like
Democrats voted for it. So I
yeah,
emailed my representative and said thank you for making my decision easier. Like I was on the fence, but now that I know that y'all are in fuck you mode, fuck you back.
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow. Great.
Number
Yeah.
two, prepare for possible changes in asylum policies affecting LGBTQIA plus immigrants. So like for that one, it's like if you're somewhere else and you're like, I think I want to go to the United States.
I mean,
Like, I
to be
think
fair,
you've
the
got a
United
whole
States,
other set of problems. Like your epistemology is in question at that point. Your critical thinking
to be
skills
fair,
maybe
the
are
United
lacking.
States has always been, one of the leaders to come through. And they always like, well, if you go to this state or that state, it could be different. It's just like states don't matter anymore. So you must
Yeah,
just
nothing's.
forget about that.
They're going to matter a little bit
No, they
for a
won't.
little, a
Ohio's
little
gonna
bit
pass a
for a little
law that
while.
pregnant women can't go to Michigan. So it's not gonna
Yeah, it's going to
matter.
be insane. It's
Your
going to be.
your blue state's not gonna save you. I hate to be that person, but
I think I do honestly think California and Washington and New York and Massachusetts are gonna, and possibly Oregon, are gonna hold out just a little longer. Like it's like the
okay.
things that they're gonna put up a fight in the on paper sense.
I hope you're
Like,
right. I hope you're so right.
but eventually what's going to happen is they're just going to put a gun to their head and they're going to just, I think what the Trump administration is going to do is like anyone that doesn't play ball is going to just get forcibly removed, and they're just going to take them out and replace them with someone they like.
Stop sending federal funding anywhere.
Yeah.
That doesn't comply. That's how they
Well,
got
I mean,
that.
that's
That's how
not going
they
to
got.
fuck
That's how they got.
California because
That's how they got.
California contributes way more than they get from the government. So like California can just stop sending money to the federal government. Like there's a lot of things that can happen there. Like California sends so much more money to the
Yep.
federal government than the federal government sends back. So it's like that's the wild part about it is like California is the fifth largest economy in the world. And Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, is very much not on board, and it very much does not want to acquiesce to Trump at all, and is currently the day after the election, he called a special meeting of the state legislature to like shore up all the protections and the laws and like just make them legally airtight. For what that's worth, I think that will slow down the steamroll of fascism, but I don't think it'll stop it. Is what I'm getting at. Is I think there will be a little more time. Like in places like Texas, it's going to be a shitstorm on day one. And Texas already is kind of a shitstorm, but it's going to be even worse. And it's all going to happen like
Florida.
in Idaho, Florida, North Carolina, Tennessee, Georgia. It's just going to be like Missouri, Iowa. It's just going to be bad. And in California, it's going to be like some of the bad is going to bounce off the wall of legality until they decide to like I said, come in and just remove Gavin Newsom and the legislators they don't like and just replace them with Trump people, which is I think exactly what they're going to do. And they're going to do it either by force or by like whatever executive order, or they're going to call them treasonous, or they're going to call them traitors or whatever. Like they'll just declare them enemies of the state.
Yeah.
Like, that's all they're going to do. And then they're just going to replace them with their own guys. And then it absolutely won't matter. And like, I don't know whether they're going to keep up pretenses of following American legal procedure at any point. Like they might do that for a little while, but at a certain point, they're just going to be like, why are we bothering with this? We don't need to do this. Like, let's just do whatever we want. And, what are they going to do to stop us? And the answer will be nothing at all.
Yeah.
Like, and that's, I think, where it's going. But we didn't stray from it. So yeah, if you're looking to flee your country that's not the United States because of LGBTQ plus persecution, and you think the United States is a good place to come to, I disagree. I think you should rethink that and go to any of the other 50 countries on the list that are better for human rights than the United States. So that's my advice to you as a LGBTQ plus person in the United States who is actively leaving the United States. So I don't recommend coming here. It's not going to be safe. It's going to be really fucking bad. So that's that. Number 3 from the Fenway Institute. Stay informed about potential discrimination in federally funded programs and services. So like food stamps, healthcare, all that stuff, Social Security, whatever it is. I think a lot of people take a lot of the things they get from the federal government for granted. I know I did for a long time. Like you don't think about the stuff that you just have that's just there and it's benign and in the background. But like, I think people do rely on the government for a lot of things a lot more than they do. I can attest personally that I get more from the state than I get from the feds. Like the feds don't do much. Like it's like the feds don't do much for me. But I mean, that's how you get your passport. Like, I mean, one of the reasons I'm planning on leaving before Trump gets sworn in is because I'm trans, and I mean, Emily and Lilith, you'll both probably be able to attest to this, but this is the thing that I think a lot of cis people don't know. Like when you go through the airport security and you go through the whatever that cellular detector is, and where you have to put your hands up and the thing goes by, that thing where you have to go in. Well, when you're standing in line, the person that's operating the machine looks at you and guesses at your gender, and they have a gender button on that thing, and so so they enter what gender they think you are based on what it says on your ID and how you look. And because I have not had SRS surgery or whatever, I have not had bottom surgery, I still have my boy parts. That sets off the thing as like, this is an anomaly. This doesn't belong here, and I have to get pat down. And that happens 100% of the time that I go through airports. So if
Never happened to me.
That never happened to you?
Nah. I mean,
the
first time I flew after changing everything, I even asked the lady who was running the machine. She's like, yeah, nothing showed up. I was like, yeah.
Like, congratulations.
Tiny dong power.
I don't have anything but a pile of mush down there. I ain't got no fucking dick. It's just worthless. It's like I've got very little to
It's not
work with.
crisp at all.
No, it's just this pile of mush. Like, it's not just in the way. Like, it's not
Nice
doing
callback.
anybody any favors.
Yeah. Hey,
like,
I'm a comedian. Yeah, I get it.
But
yeah, no, I mean, I just flat out asked. She's like, we put in a female and he came through and no big deal. And I was like, cool,
Okay.
cool. Probably
Well,
them
that's good.
thighs. It's
Emily,
all
have you
behind
had
my
that
thick ass
experience?
thighs.
I guess what if I tucked maybe?
No, I tuck,
fun.
and it was the same thing for me. The better thing is to get the TSA pre-check. Then you would just go through the metal detectors, not the cancer machines. So
Yeah, it's but my point of that is I have gotten, sir, I expect it. Like,
yeah.
I consistently get pulled off and have to get patted down. And if Trump and if MAGA decides that they're gonna like make it illegal to be transgender, which they very well may, like if like they might it's very realistic that one of the first things that they'll do is write some sort of executive order or pass some law that like your documentation, your birth certificate, your social security card, all your driver's license have to be in accordance with your gender assigned at birth. They've already talked about it. They're certainly going to do that.
Absolutely.
And so it's a matter. So if that happens and they make it so like if your shit is not congruent with that, like, and you have to go through security, I mean, that could prevent you from getting on a flight, like, and then you would have to go over a border on land. Like, so it's like, I can't, it's one of the reasons I'm leaving, because I don't want to wait for that to happen. Because I mean, I look at like what Trump did when he was president, and like, I don't know if y'all remember when he did the Muslim travel ban. Like, he just did it. He just said no Muslims can come into the country, and then that was that. And like, it fucked up air travel for millions of people, like for like 2 weeks, like 4 weeks or something like that. Well, they sorted it out, and the ACLU had to go and say, you can't just you can't just say that Muslim people can't come into the country. That's insane. But he did it, and it did stop that, and it made a fucking mess, and it fucked up people's lives. And why wouldn't he do that again? Like, that's the thing, is he could do that whenever he wants, and there wouldn't be anything to stop him this time. Like, the ACLU would still come in and say, hey, you can't do that, but they'd be talking to the fucking Neil Gorsuch and Amy Coney Barrett. Like, it's like it would fall on deaf ears, and they wouldn't care. Like, so, like, I mean, it's just, to me, it's like, hey, have your shit together, have your paperwork ready now. You have 5 weeks. We've got 5 weeks. So 5 weeks and 2 days. So like, get your shit together right fucking now, and have a bug out bag ready. Like, so even if you are planning on staying, like, at least, like, Lilith, you look like you want to say something.
No, I mean, I just assume I'll come up with a plan and everything will work out for me. And if it doesn't work out for me, I'll figure out what to do next.
Yeah.
Well, you're doing it already. You've got a plan.
Well, that's because I don't worry about things not going sideways for me. I come up with a plan and I do the plan. And if it doesn't work out, I figure out what's next. Like, this whole thing, like, I'm waiting for this paperwork from the city of Richmond, and it's been 3 weeks. And I called him yesterday, and I was like, I will be in town Friday. Give me the person's name. I have the person's name, then I'm picking up Friday morning. And my boyfriend's already like, what if they don't have it? What's my? I'm like, they told me they'd have it. I'll worry about them not having it when they don't have it. Right. So if a courthouse building burns down in Richmond next Friday, y'all know what happened.
That would be why they didn't have your paperwork. That's what
it burned down. Yeah.
If the courthouse burns down, that would be why they didn't have your paperwork.
I guess I can't argue with that.
It would be an incidental thing.
But I think, this kind of goes back to, like, I think people prevent themselves from doing stuff or making plans because they think they can't get it done. And it's just like, well, no, you figure out what you want to do, and then you figure out how to make it happen. And you don't worry about what if this happens or what if that happens. You deal with that stuff when you get to that point.
Yeah.
And there's your tip from Lilith today. How are you so amazing? I do what I want. And if it doesn't work, I figure out what I want next. I mean, I'm sorry.
I know that's pretty solid. That's a pretty solid method. I mean,
people always like, how do you know what to do all the time? It's like, I do what I want. I mean, I don't know. I can't make it any more clear how I get things done. I figure out what it is that I want to do, and then I do it.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much kind of my MO as well. It's like what I do too. I mean, obviously it's more complicated than that, but yeah, see,
you figure out. I'm not charmed.
So much fucking riz.
Everything went wrong for me my entire life for 47 years because I was waiting for things to happen or waiting for people to do things. And when I started doing things for myself and started figuring out for myself, things started happening for me.
Oh, I love it. What is that you're drinking?
Trump can suck my dick. This is a Verner's. It's a Detroit-based ginger ale.
That might be a ginger ale. Nice.
The story behind it, apparently the guy was a doctor during the Civil War, and he had these barrels of it, and he went out fighting the war and came back 4 years later and like drank it, and it was just like, holy shit, this is good stuff. They say it's good for this is amazing. They say it's good for like stomach aches and stuff like that. And when I was a kid, my mom was always like, ginger ale if you have a stomach ache. I just like it. It's got a good vanilla flavor to it. Make a Boston cooler, pour it over some ice cream.
Ooh, yeah. Nice. I gave up soda in 2007 because I was addicted to Dr. Pepper. But when I travel, I will often allow myself, like on an airplane, I'll allow myself a ginger ale. Did a couple on the train when I went to
Yeah.
Seattle, yeah.
I ordinarily don't, but my brother's visiting, so him and my boyfriend walked to the weed store, and I went with them. And next door is a gas station, so I went and got myself a Verner's.
Got yourself a Verner's. I'll have
Got
to
myself a
try those.
Verner's.
Love it.
My go-to airplane beverage is Bloody Mary mix.
Right.
Just the
Bloody Mary
mix.
mix.
Just the mix. Yeah, just
Just
the
the
mix. Just the
mix.
tomato juice with the pepper and like all that stuff, and just drink it like a Virgin Mary. It's
Okay.
like I
Virgin
love
Mostly
it.
Mary.
because they don't have Bud Light Clamato on the
I don't know if they do, if
on the
they
plane.
don't. Like
You got any
I
Clamato
don't never,
juice? Like, no, we
I've
don't.
never like inquired about Bud Light Clamato ever once,
Oh,
and
sorry. Didn't mean to
I'm
have
just
my
saying, like, I'm not going to
pronunciation
say
game wrong.
outright that I know that they don't have that on a flight, because I'm going to say that I don't know one way or the other, because I don't fucking care whether or not the flight has Bud Light Clamato on it, because under no circumstances will I can't imagine a scenario in which I would drink a Bud Light Clamato. Like, it would be a
How is
wild situation where I'd be like, yes, I'll drink that.
But
Who
how
knows?
this is so I guess it's the same thing as Werner's, right? He comes back, he's got barrels of this stuff, and he's like, I'm just gonna drink it. How the fuck do we get clam and tomato as a thing that somebody wants to try,
With a Bud Light.
enjoys, and then makes into a thing? Like, what
Yeah,
is
I never
wrong with
understood it
people?
either. But
I'm
I
going to
mean,
tell you, I think like all bad ideas for this country, it probably came from San Diego. That's just my vibe. Someone in San Diego was having too much to drink, and they were just like Bloody Mary mix and clam juice and Bud Light, and they're just
what
like,
a
let's do it.
wild statement. What is San
What are you gonna? What do you?
A
Diego?
wild
What are
accusation.
y'all gonna die on the San Diego hill here? Come on, come on.
I don't know. Like, you just
Right.
declared war on San Diego, California, one of the most benign cities in the United
I need to
States.
throw in a transverse disclaimer here that the opinions of the hosts of this show do not necessarily represent the opinions of the transverse or its
I like
organization.
San Diego. Have you ever been to San Diego?
I've been to San Diego.
You
We're
didn't
pro
like
San
it?
Diego here.
San
You just
Diego's
like
fine.
a city full of bad ideas? Okay, I'm going to come to your defense real quick here, because I do know
Yeah.
a
Oh,
story that
whoops. Guess what? You were right the whole time.
because in the 90s, like USD, University of San Diego, or UCSD, University of California, San Diego, like actually had like their they actually were so fucking bad about protection and fucking so much that like they actually had their own strain of venereal disease that developed them.
But see, I think that's a point for San Diego. Like
Oh
if
yeah.
I
there's
wouldn't
that
go
much free
that
love.
far. Like, I don't feel like infectious disease originators are like should get points, but like I understand like the it's buck ass wild.
Okay. I will concede that point at least. Yes. Uh
I don't hate
so
on San Diego. I love San Diego.
I got
I
nothing
don't
against
think
San
I
Diego.
don't think bad decisions come from San Diego.
All right.
I don't think that's true.
Agree to disagree.
So I have exciting news, like kind of mind-blowing news, actually.
Is it about San
Yeah,
Diego?
let's hear it.
No, it's about Australia. So I have a
Ooh,
trip.
Australia.
I have a trip to go visit my girlfriend in Australia in January. And
She's in the
to
chat, isn't she?
yes,
Hey,
she
Brett.
is. And to ensure that there wasn't any shock or yeah, I think shock, not to avoid surprise, but just to avoid any kind of shock or whatever. She has spilled the beans in advance that she is going to pop the question when I'm there.
A match made uh in YouTube. Which is true.
Congrats.
YouTube brought you together. It's a beautiful thing, and that's wonderful.
Congrats.
I think that's great.
We're getting married too when we get down to Costa Rica.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
We'll have to
Yeah.
do a Skype wedding.
A Skype wedding from my
Skype dual
lawyer's
wedding.
office. Yeah.
I'm gonna give. I don't have anywhere to go. I don't have anyone to marry me. Hey, anyone out there in the chat, if you want to get married and help me get into your country, let me know because like I'm super down. You want to get with this? Like here I am. I'm pretty awesome. Yeah, I'd make a great wife. Like I really would. Like I'm more than happy to. I will consider every proposal.
Well, and that was a bit of the discussion. It's just like, because I didn't want to assume anything, about, if we, because we've talked about it, obviously. And there still is a decision of where to live. And it's just like, well, it's getting more and more obvious that choice would be Australia.
Yeah.
So, because I'm not going to bring a trans girl here into this. Like, it doesn't make any sense. So
you are not going to do that. Yeah, Australia. My current aim, the Canada thing kind of fell through for me, so I'm not going to Canada anymore. I don't think. I'm not ruling it out, but like I'm no longer pursuing that avenue. But like I have a friend that is living in Cambodia, and semi invited me to come help her with her shop that she has in Cambodia. So that might be a destination. I'm also looking at Vietnam, and then honestly just Costa Rica because Lilith is going there. It's like, oh, I'll at least know one person. I'll at least know two people. So maybe just like I can get a place next to Lilith and Adam. And
fucking
like,
sitcom premise over
that's
here.
what I was gonna say. I can be the wacky neighbor that comes in and just barges in. Like you can
she's gonna
talk
be
to
your
me over
Kramer.
you can talk to me over the fence.
Tasmania.
You'll have to let us know if it turns into more of a Kramer situation, a Newman situation, or a Wilson situation.
I would hope it would be of the three. I would hope it's
probably going to be a sheet cake situation. I'm going to be real honest with you.
Yeah, you are going to do that OnlyFans business. Yeah, that's
now we got 4 trans feet sticking in these
true.
cakes.
I will
mean,
be
God.
on your OnlyFans. I will absolutely
Yeah.
be on your OnlyFans, smushing cakes with my toes.
What do you do all day?
Guest foot appearance.
Yeah.
Every Friday we do
What's
we
that,
do a
a
pedicure.
new foot? Oh my God.
We do a pedicure and get a fresh nail coat, and then we Saturday is all stepping in cakes.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Well, you got the plan.
I got a plan.
It's a solid plan. Yeah.
Solid plan.
Yeah.
Let me, if you pay
use
enough,
the iPhone and a ring light. Good to go.
Yeah. Yeah, that looks good.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll work. Yeah, it's about that. Honestly, like at this point, like I don't know what I'm gonna do. I just know I'm gonna find I'm in the process. Like I'm not aimless, but like I've got it narrowed down and there's contingency factors that just depend. So basically I've got a meeting with my friend in Cambodia on Sunday night, and I'm going to talk to her and just we're going to sort out the details, and I'm going to be like, hey, look, I need to know what the fuck is going on because I got to act fast here, and we're going to sort it out. And if she's like, yeah, come over, then that's probably what I'll end up doing. And so it's looking like Cambodia is I looked into it, and Cambodia is pretty reasonable. It wasn't on the list. On any of the lists of best places to be for transgender people, but it wasn't. I looked into it and I did a little research, and like it seems pretty benign. Like there's no anti-trans laws. There's no what? What are you laughing at?
Lilith's emoji conversation here in the YouTube
chat.
In
the chat. Never mind me then. Anyway, they're having fun in the chat, and that's good. They don't need to hear what I have to say. But I was just gonna say Cambodia I didn't know much about Cambodia. Like I just know what I knew from like the Vietnam War and like what Henry Kissinger and Nixon did over there, and then Pol Pot, like which wasn't that long ago, but it was 50 years ago. But it's not like that anymore. But like
Pol Pot's not around anymore.
Pol Pot's not around anymore. They're not actively genociding a third of their population anymore. That's not a thing now. Like that's not going on in Cambodia anymore. But it is like right there on the Gulf of Thailand, and it's beautiful and it's tropical, and it's every photo I see, every video I watch, it's a beautiful, it's just a beautiful piece of earth, like a beautiful geographic location. And like I'm super down. Like I don't know word one of Khmer, but like I'll learn Khmer, fuck it. Like there is religiosity there, but it's all Buddhism, and I can get behind that. Like it's like that's not going to cramp my style. It's like I know enough. I'm not going to be a Buddhist, but like it's like I know enough about Buddhism to like be okay with it. I know it's not an invasive religion.
If anyone
Like
asks what you want, just be like nothing. I'm fine
yeah.
the way things are.
Oh yeah, just go to the hot dog vendor and be like, make me one with everything. The classic joke. It's such a good
Classic.
joke.
It's so good. So good.
Emily was not moved.
I read something in chat. I missed that joke entirely.
I've been on a streak of jokes that just didn't land. Like I had what I thought was a really good Facebook joke the other day, and it just didn't land anywhere, and I was so sad. It was like, how is this not a popular joke? And I'll let you know what it was. And so like basically like some guy in some group I'm in had posted like this picture of like I don't even recognize the guy. He's some singer in some band. He like wears a hat backwards and he's got a goatee and he looks like he's could have been in Limp Bizkit, but like he was just like singing, and then there was a Photoshop next to him was Yoko Ono screaming, and everyone's like, "Who's that?" And my joke my joke response was, "That's Yoko Ono. She was in the Beatles, but she was most famous for her appearance on season 4, episode 8 of Mad About You." And like no one got that joke. And I thought it was really funny. And like everyone's like, Yoko Ono wasn't in the Beatles. It's like, I wasn't talking about her. I was talking about the dude. And it was just a bunch of like, y'all missed it. Y'all didn't get my really hilarious joke. And maybe the joke isn't hilarious, and maybe I need to go back to clown college.
I would say I got the joke, and I think it's more, yeah, the joke wasn't that funny. But also, when you do things online, like you have to realize, like all the media illiteracy we see in our day-to-day life is compounded when you're on
Yeah.
social media. You know,
Well, and then, yeah,
And
it's just impossible to get context and subtlety, sarcasm, like
oh,
they just didn't understand that. Of course, you knew that they knew that it was Yoko Ono, and that was your joke, but you had multiple layers in there. In that you
yeah,
said that
but
she was in the Beatles, which is
which is
not
funny. That's
that's funny.
hilarious.
And then that she was actually more well known from Mad About You, which how many of the people that were reading that post on Facebook knew what Mad About You was? So there's
That's the
like
thing is, I bet
there's
you. I'm
I,
gonna guess 0 because like that was not a really great show.
no, it was
how
it
about
was
Man About
good.
You with Paul Reiser and
Paul
Helen
Reiser and
Hunt?
Helen
Riser and
Hunt.
Helen Hunt, come on.
You would say that was a great show.
No.
No, no,
Yeah, that's what I just. That's a,
it's not. It's not a great show.
That's all I
It's
said is it wasn't a great show. That's all I think.
Okay.
I mean, I used to watch it. I thought it was kind of
what
funny.
was
It's like
what was
after
the
Seinfeld.
what was the similar one, but it had Richard Lewis in it?
I don't
Don't
remember
know.
Richard Lewis's show
What's
outside
the
of
show?
Curb Your
Wait, what's the show we're
Enthusiasm.
talking about?
Mad
Mad
About You.
About You.
Okay. Let me,
Paul Reiser and Helen Hunt.
it's probably
Yeah.
something stupid like the Richard Lewis show.
I mean, he was always there doing stuff. I never thought Richard Lewis was funny until he was in Curb Your Enthusiasm. Like that was the playing himself. It was like that was his best role was when he played Richard Lewis.
He was in a sitcom called Anything But Love.
Okay, yeah, okay, that yeah.
Well, and then of course there was the equally popular follow-up show, which was just Mad About You 2.0, Dharma and Greg.
That's
I
right. There was
remember.
Dharma and Greg. And never mind. It's like the Simpson jokes that I thought were great. Like it's like this episode where Krusty the Clown is like
Mad
on
About You.
yeah, Yeah, Krusty the Clown was hosting the Simpsons version of Saturday Night Live, and like they were doing sketches, and he comes in, he's like, "Hey everybody," he's got like a giant shoe, and he's like, "It's mad about shoe," and it's just like no one laughed, and he's like, "You're not gonna like NYPD shoe."
And then the one where he had the big ear and the huge Q-tip too, and he was like, "Oh, this thing goes on for 5 more minutes." Ugh.
Oh.
I'm honestly surprised that they haven't tried to. Now they probably could. Obviously, they couldn't do it live, but they might be able to do it live with like a Simpsons, like an anime overlay. It'd probably be way too complex to pull it off live, but do an episode of SNL hosted by Bart Simpson or Homer Simpson. Or not.
Yeah.
Never
They're
mind.
doing the,
Never mind.
they're doing the
Jason Momoa again.
They did the
Jason
hologram
Momoa.
of Tupac, so like I guess they could do that. That was
Okay,
good.
yeah.
That was like 20 years ago.
Yeah, they're doing the thing where like they'll do NFL games where like it's all
I
Simpsons
saw that.
characters or whatever. Like
It's
so
weird, but
they could do
also
it.
like people complaining about like dudes who are into football. It's like, did you ever consider for one moment that maybe this wasn't for you? The game is on another channel without the Simpsons. Like, not everything is for you, 25 to 65-year-old white dude. Some things are for other people. I don't
And
get
that
it.
just
It's like, yeah.
that
of course.
infuriates them. It's too
Oh,
woke.
they hate it. It's too woke.
The Simpsons.
The Simpsons is woke.
The Simpsons playing football is too woke. God damn it, it's the woke mind virus. We
Homer
gotta
went
do
to
something.
college. Homer went to
What the
college.
funding?
Homer
These
went to
fuckers
college and
have
some
too many rights.
liberal professor told him about nuclear fission.
Quick question: are trans people going to jail first, or news media?
Well, the news media is already sucking up. The news media is getting this. My main concern for people who are staying behind in this country is the amount and brutality of the propaganda they'll be getting by this time next year. No one from the media is going to prison. They're all going to play ball.
I don't think they are all going to play ball. I think a couple people are going to go to prison.
Maddow.
I don't think Maddow's going to play ball. I really don't.
I don't think Maddow's going to prison.
She might not. Independent media though, like people like Sam Cedar and like like maybe Kyle Kalinske or something like that might have troubles. But like I don't know how it's going to go down. I think trans people are going to go to prison first. That's what I think.
Okay.
I think the primary target right away. Trans people are on that list, but I do actually think the first thing they're going to do is they're going to go after immigrants and anyone Hispanic. I think is the primary target right away. Like I think that's the first thing they're going to do. I mean, they're already building the deportation camps in Arizona, and so it's like we know how that went last time, and it wasn't pretty, and so we'll see how that goes this time when it's even worse. It's like, and so that's a problem. But I mean, ultimately, like. Honestly, if I got booted out of the country and sent to Mexico right now, I'd be like, that's fine. Like, that's fine.
Yeah,
Like,
if you see any deportation trucks in your neighborhood, just be like, "Hey, I'm
hey,
here.
hey.
I'm here illegally from
No habla inglés, please.
habla.
Por favor, señor.
I'm here illegally from the Seychelles, so send me back.
And no paperwork. No paperwork.
I'm here illegally. I didn't bring paperwork. Send me back to Greece or wherever the hell I want to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm from Transylvania.
Amanda's like, yeah, I'm Cambodian.
I'm Cambodian. Here illegally.
I'm about to be fully Cambodian. I'm gonna immerse myself in that culture. I'm gonna learn Khmer. I'm gonna wear the dresses. I'm gonna buy all the Cambodian clothes, drink all the Cambodian drinks, eat all the Cambodian food. I've never had Cambodian.
Very American of you. I'm gonna show up. I'm gonna eat all their food. I'm gonna drink all their booze. America.
God damn it! It did sound like that, didn't it?
I'm gonna fuck all their women. Jeez, all right.
I mean, I am gonna do all those things.
I am gonna do all those. For real.
That was my plan. God damn it.
Saw right through her.
I know her. I know her. I mean, what can I say?
Have either of you ever had Cambodian food?
No.
I mean, I don't know what it is. I imagine it's similar to Vietnamese food, but that's just assumptive. Like I don't actually, I've never had the
I mean, you should
opportunity to
really look that
enjoy
up. If
Cambodian
you're going
food,
to
but I
eat it
should look it up.
all, you should.
That's true. I shouldn't. I might not eat some of the things that I don't like. Like I imagine you can get pretty fucking good pho in Cambodia.
Mm.
I'd imagine. I also don't know. Maybe their pho is terrible because I made that mistake when I went to Turkey because I
They didn't
thought
have any turkey there.
You got the pho in Turkey, and it was like
no,
shitty.
I didn't make that mistake, but I assumed because of Turkey's
Didn't have
geography that I would like Turkish food, and I didn't. I hated the food in Turkey, like, because Turkey geographically is between like Greece and Syria, and like Lebanon's right there. And I love Lebanese food and I love Greek food. And so I was like, well, if it's right in the middle, it's got to be pretty similar. And it's not, and it wasn't. It was just totally, they did like one thing and they put some ingredient in all of it that just made me break out into hives on the back of my hands. And like I was allergic to what they put in everything. And I didn't know what that thing was. And it was just like, it was a fucking nightmare. It was just like, I left early because of it.
I have a bad joke / thought exercise.
I mean, that turkey thing was really good.
Oh,
I
thank
know, I
you.
The turkey
appreciate
joke
that.
was a good joke.
So
I enjoyed it.
playing off of that, what do you think in that country a turkey sandwich means? Because does it mean it's a sandwich with turkey on it, or does it mean it's a traditional Turkish sandwich?
Yeah, no, it would be a
It's doner
sandwich with
kebab,
turkey.
no doubt.
Yeah, exactly. Because yeah, doner is what they eat, and so that's exactly it. It's like they do have sandwiches there, and it's exactly what Lilith just said. And so it's like that would be a Turkish sandwich.
Because you can go to
You're like,
Berlin
"Where's the
and you can get a Berliner, and that's a
stuffing?"
donut.
That's true. I mean, I don't know. I've never asked. I didn't ask about that question. I was in their country and I wasn't about to like be like, hey, let's make all the jokes about Turkey. Like
She was just trying to get the fuck out.
I liked it. I really enjoyed being in
I
Turkey.
showed up,
I
I
thought
had
it
a
was
piece of
beautiful.
Turkish delight, realized it was shit, and I left.
The Turkish delight was great. It was like the meals. I mean, that's a candy. Like that's
Was it?
Turkish delight's wonderful.
Was it a delight?
It was very delightful. Yes,
Okay. Okay.
it was indeed a delight. Yeah, it was
I have
great.
heard
You
otherwise,
get
but I'll take your word
saffron
for it.
dirt cheap in Turkey too. You get saffron for like the price of like cilantro here. It's like it's great.
I mean, that's what you can
It's
do.
like,
You can be a saffron runner.
we thought about it actually. I did
Yeah.
think about it. Like my friend that I went with was like, I should buy a bunch of saffron and bring it back. I could make a killing. And it's like he ended up not doing it, but like it's like it would be a good move. Like yeah, it's like
Had a
yeah,
whole Pringles can filled with saffron.
yeah. But yeah, I mean, we're coming to the edge here.
Hmm.
We didn't get through all
Already.
the things, but like I mean, we just kind of talk what we talked. Like I mean, I
Was
I
there
do want to.
topics you wanted to hit?
No, they're not really. I wanted to say one more thing. I wanted to give a piece of a suggestive piece of advice. This is something that we talked about last night, and I want to give it to the crew watching, and to the people out there. I recommend everyone that's planning on staying in the United States. I think a good thing to do is make a short list of like 3 or 5 things of that if you see happening, that's enough that would convince you that you need to leave. Like list atrocities that are like so unthinkable that like you'd be like, okay, this is real, I gotta go.
Mhm.
And write that list and make it now and keep that. And if you see anything on that list, fucking go, because that means the rest is coming to you. And so I just say, I touched my face. Sorry, Keith Olbermann. I
Yeah,
fucked
you
up.
not only did you touch your
I
face,
did it
did
with
you
my middle
realize
finger.
what finger you did it
I
with?
just flipped everyone off. I broke every rule of
You broke all the
broadcasting.
rules. I have another
boned.
interesting point that a friend and I talked about yesterday on sort of a darkest timeline TikTok video we were doing. If you're trans and you're going to stay here, or if if there's a chance you might not be able to get out, she highly suggested, and I thought this was probably a really good idea. Give medical power of attorney to someone you trust who's cis, someone you trust implicitly, because you know, if they make it illegal to be trans, if they make it you know, nationally a medical illness, a mental illness, then they can start rounding us up and putting us in mental health facilities. And you know, then they have control because this person is mentally ill. But if someone else has power of attorney over your mental care, then they can step in and you know, have that power.
Sounds like a good precautionary
Uh,
measure. I hope it works.
I agree. In as far as if those rules stay the same.
Yeah, that's true. Because we always joke about the lawyers and how worthless that, you know, oh, we're getting our lawyers ready.
They're not going to be worthless, but they're going. Ultimately, they are. It's not that stuff is going to take a minute to dismantle. Like it's like
Yeah.
it is going to ultimately get steamrolled. But it's not. None of that. There will be a fight, and it will slow down the bulldozers.
I really honestly think, I know you're talking about immigration and things like that. First day, they can pass a law that if you're a doctor or a hospital or any facility that receives Medicare and Medicaid, you cannot receive that funding if you do any trans work with any of your patients, and that
Yeah.
will immediately shut all that down. So it like getting your prescriptions and all that could be incredibly difficult day one. They might not be
I
coming for you, but you're not going to have access to things.
I suspect as much. Like I mean that's why I'm leaving. You know, it's like that's one of the many reasons that I'm leaving. But like, yeah, it's that. I mean, I think you're right. I think they are absolutely going to do that, and I think that's not gonna take long.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like the idea of like getting rounded up and like that's gonna take a little bit longer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but I also think that is coming, and I know it sounds dour and it could sound
But
hyperbolic, but I really think it's real.
again, if that's something that you feel strongly about, like losing complete access to trans medical care and your prescriptions, if that's important to you, if you put that on your list, then you know, yeah, that's a good enough reason to bug out there alone.
I looked at the chat, Lilith. You're hilarious.
I am hilarious. That's very true. It's very true.
Which one are you
Should we?
laughing at?
I was
There's a
laughing
lot
at
of
her feet on cakes emojis.
that's why I was laughing. I couldn't avoid it. I saw a cake and then a foot pop up, and I just burst into laughter.
You know what's so disappointing though is honestly my visceral love of cake is going to prevent me from doing any of this. It'll be like an OnlyFans where like a trans girl eats cake smelt first without any utensils.
Honey, I got the solution for you. It's just like you have to just buy two cakes. Like you eat one's for step and one's for eating. It's like the foot comes down. It's like oh no, some for the doctor. It's like
that's fair.
I love this idea of like this seems like a sketch to me of you know, someone who puts the sheet cake down, gets all the lighting set up, gets the camera ready and starts rolling, and then just like just dives in and eats the cake instead. It's like I can't do it.
I can't do this to you.
Oh no, Piggy Girl's going live. I even got my OnlyFans, Manic Piggy Dream Girl. There you go. That's my one thing. Watch me eat cake without utensils.
I think we're gonna wrap up. It's getting to that time. I want to just thank everybody for coming. Thank everybody in the chat. Thank everybody that's here watching. That's not in the chat, but is got it on in the background while you do your digital crocheting or whatever it is, while you're keeping you're keeping your Tamagotchi alive. And what?
Underwater basket weaving simulator.
Whatever it is that you're doing, that you're focusing on with being trans, the darkest timeline in the background. We love you too, and we're glad that you decided to tune in to our show. We will be back next week. Lilith, is next week your last show before you leave?
So next week I might be coming live from Richmond. But I honestly,
on the steps of the courthouse,
you might be ready to go.
My boyfriend's mom's house.
Yeah.
Because we're driving down there. And then the week after I'm not leaving until the 1st, and I could probably be up for the show that Saturday. because
Okay,
I've
so
got.
we might
I'm
not miss a beat.
not gonna miss a beat. I
That'd be
might be
great.
sunburned for that show
Yeah,
on
I'm looking at
after the
how pale
first.
you are right now. You're gonna go to
I am
Costa
a
Rica.
pale bitch.
I
Like,
mean,
yeah.
yeah, but like you, I mean, well, I think you're gonna get some real nice color, and you're gonna love it.
No, I will not. I will turn into the color of Bud Light Clamato. Um and it's just gonna be like this burnt orangish red.
You'll be a bronze goddess in no time. So
mm, I'm actually gonna buy a big floppy hat to wear to the pool, and
yeah, you will
Oh,
do
I
that.
want to
Yeah, you're
see it.
gonna
I want to see
definitely do. I
photos. I
know.
want to see pics.
I might not go to Cambodia. I just might go to Costa Rica, hang out with Lilith. Kind of. I do like the idea of being neighbors. Like, and I like the idea of Costa Rica too. Like, there's pluses too because like I'll still be on Central Time, so it's like that's nice. Like, and anyway, thanks for coming. We love you. I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna bring up our merch that you can get. You can get it's covering Emily. I hate it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Well,
move
especially
that
since I have a
over.
plug. Let me do a plug real quick then.
Okay.
On Tuesday night, the Transgender Show returns with a special interview with two authors, two co-authors. The book that they've written is The Old Man and the Queer, and the story is an old conservative man, anti-LGBT, set in his ways, and comes across a young barber who is gay, I believe. I'm not sure of their identity yet. I haven't had a chance to speak to them directly, but and this book chronicles how their friendship developed, and they're very good, very close friends, and clearly the old man no longer hates LGBT folks. So I thought that I thought it was pretty prescient with what we have going on. And I thought that would be a fun conversation. So that will be Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 Eastern, twitch.tv/the transverse or youtube.com/the transverse, as I'm sure you're here watching this live, so you already know that. But
you already know.
yeah, come back on Tuesday.
I just had the mug and the shirts going while you were taking all that. I moved them away from covering your face.
Good. Yeah. So you've got lots of space on either side of me. So that's
Yeah, I
perfect.
did. And so we did that. And so you can get that shirt and that mug and other wonderful transverse merchandise at etsy.com/transverse. Is that right?
Nope. Never is right.
Transverse.com/Etsy.
Nope.
If you Google search the transverse
Etsy.transverse.etsy.com.
on Etsy, you'll get
Okay,
it.
so the standard thing is etsy.com/shop/the transverse, but they've actually added a thing where you can put the shop name first. It's the transverse.etsy.com.
Okay. Transverse.etsy.com. That's super easy. I'll surely remember that going forward.
Yeah, the 94th time is the time that you're finally going to get it, Amanda. I truly believe that.
If you just search Etsy the transverse, it's the first one that
There
pops
you
up.
go. Just to do it. Use AI. That's what we all do. That's what it's good for. Getting you those mugs and those shirts and all a bunch of the other good shirts and stickers and flags and all the good things that are on our merch store. And that's great. You can get those. You can also help us out by liking and subscribing to this very channel. I hope y'all like this video, because if you're sitting here, you're in that chat and you're not giving us the like thing. I mean, what are you even doing? That's not very great. That's not what makes a great pizza. Come on, get with the program here. Give us that like. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. Just do it. Just do it. And those things, if you really want to be a bud, really want to be a friend to the show, you can actually I think it's called joining the show. Is that what it is? Where you actually you pay a subscription every month and you can do that. You can click the join. You can join the channel. You can do that.
Yes, the Patreon.
And
as
you
well.
can also, we do have a Patreon at patreon.com/the transverse. Is that right?
Yes.
So I got that one right. So that's
Yep.
good. And there is some bonus stuff that you get from the Patreon. And I don't know, we'll work on some more bonus stuff for the YouTube thing too.
Yeah, we'll
it's
get more up there.
I think we'll have to do some, like, once I get situated, like back in wherever I end up landing and I'm situated, I'm going to start doing more of the other shows, because I kind of whittled it down to just this show and Mediocre Poker. And so I'll be doing, we'll probably bring up Transition Tuesday again or something like it. We'll be doing other shows besides just this one. And so that'll be that. And there we go. And I think there was one more thing that I wanted to say. Oh yeah, stick around for Mediocre Poker, which is going to start in a little less than an hour. At the top of the hour, I will be back right here on the Transverse, and I will be playing Pot Limit Omaha as I usually do, and it will be a play and explain, and I will walk you through. I have been on a very good winning streak lately, and hopefully we can keep that up today. And my game has certainly leveled up in the last week or two.
Nice.
And I went from being a break-even player to I am now consistently making profit. I'm not like I'm not a pro yet, but I'm on my way. And I'd love to have you come along, hear what I'm doing, and interact. Please, we love it when you come in and you ask questions, because there's a lot of jargon that gets thrown around, and I talk pretty quickly and act pretty quickly. So Emily can attest to this. Brett can attest to this. But yeah,
it's very fun and very informative. I love it.
It is fun.
Yeah.
And so, any questions you got, I can tell you about it. I'm happy to tell you. Lilith, I don't think you'll be there. Lilith never comes to Mediocre Poker, but
Yeah, I don't like listening to you talk about poker. I mean, I've been upfront with that from day one of our relationship.
She did.
It was the first thing she said.
I went and stayed with her for those 4 weeks, and she hated every time I mentioned the word
I
poker.
think it goes back to when we first started the podcast, and we were like, "How was your week?" And you'd start going in on poker. I was like,
talking about poker.
I don't understand any of that. I don't know.
Another great thing that people can do.
I told her to get a salad spinner.
I'm doing a 12-hour holiday stream on Christmas Day. So if you don't have a place to be, if you don't have family to be with, if you're looking for some entertainment or whatever, I am going to I'm going to do this to myself. I'm going to wake up and I'm going to be on stream at 8 a.m. Pacific. This is one of the worst decisions I've ever made in my life. 11 a.m. Eastern. And so we'll be going until 8 p.m. So yeah, that'll be super fun. I've done the Christmas holiday stream every year since the Transverse started. I missed the Thanksgiving stream this year, and I really apologize for that. So we'll be together for 12 hours on Christmas Day, December 25th, American time. For you Aussies, it'll be Boxing Day. But yeah. So
if you want someone to come on and do holiday themed bits, well, we can work something out. I can come on.
That's what I was gonna say. It's like, I think I need to pop
wonderful.
by as a special guest, like me.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll work on a time. I got to put together a schedule. I have another friend that's joining
this is the first I've heard of it. being part of the Transverse. That's all right. Yeah, it's going to be great. I'm certainly going to be tuning in. I'll be there. I'll be enjoying the show. I hope you all can too. And that you tell everybody, tell everyone you know, tell all the people that you see. Follow us on our Transverse on YouTube.com and whatever other social medias the Transverse has.
Twitch.tv/the Transverse.
Twitch.tv. Yeah. And so thank you to all of you. Once again, stick around for Mediocre Poker at the top of the hour. And if otherwise, we will see you next week. And we love you. Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.